probably the hardest video I ever had to make. All right, Bev, how has cancer impacted you?
It affects me in like two different ways, like physically for sure, and then mentally. And both are different, but they're both very powerful. And I think mentally, because I feel like it's a strain on my family, to take over the stuff that I normally do. And also mentally, because it's hard not to be able to do the things I normally do and just being weak, things like that. And physically, it's a little bit difficult in the realm of, just feeling sick to my stomach and feeling weak and feeling just kind of achy and things like that. And so it puts physical limitations on me. And that's something I've never had to deal with before.
Hey, Wanda, how has cancer impacted your life?
Well, cancer has impacted my life in a good and bad way because I realized about a lot of like the fake people in my life, and that it just was a really good realization of the people that I needed to get out of my life and the people that I needed to come into my life. And then I would go through a lot of sad days, but mostly they were happy because I knew my mom was alive. And I'm glad she was alive because a lot of moms and dads and kids don't make it. So I thought it was really awesome that my mom was okay and that God really helped her. It was awesome.
Can you tell me the most dramatic moment throughout all this?
Yeah, probably when I heard her pass out in the bathroom.
How did that happen?
Well, I walked up and I was talking to her, and in the middle of conversation, she was passed out, and it really scared me more than anything because I thought she was dead. But it was really cool because I was too scared to go in the bathroom for a while. But after a while, the Lord helped me go into the restroom and being able to just be in there and not have crying or anything like that. So it was good mentally, and I learned that stuff does kind of take a pull on you, but it's okay to get back up. You don't have to stay down all the time.
Thank you, babe. Hey, Isabel, how has cancer changed your life?
So I think it was when we found out our mom had cancer is when I wasn't really appreciating how much work she did around the house. And I was kind of just like, she's doing work, it's not that much. And I came home from school and I was like really tired and I didn't want to do any chores. But now since me and Wanda are like I'm making food and doing the dishes and she's doing the laundry, and there's just a lot to balance. So I'm like really appreciating my mom for how much work she's done. So, yeah.
But with my family's strength and God's strength, obviously, getting me through this. I know I only have a few more rounds left of chemotherapy, and then that makes me really, really happy to know that I feel like the journey is almost over. I just got another little hill to climb, and then I'll be there.
2018 of January, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. It rocked our world. And if you read the title, I had put how God used YouTube to get me through the hardest part of my life. November 28th, I started a YouTube channel right here in the garage using my Tesla that was ripped, doing rinseless washes, not knowing what it was going to be. It was supposed to be a whole, Eddie, get out the house. This is your time, right? Fast forward, it started to become something, kind of cool. That's something I would do every week to meet friends, meet people, give back to the community. My wife and I always talked. We always said, if it ever got big enough, we just want to give back to the community, give back to those who hit the subscribe and who gave back to us by just watching the videos. We fast forward to January 18th, we get the diagnosis. 3 weeks later, she's in surgery. And it's like my whole world was turned upside down. It went from she's a strong woman. She's extremely strong. She's my best friend. I love her. It went from seeing everyday life of her getting up, giving us hugs and kisses, to watching her be in bed and laying there and recovering, and I think I needed this for my own medicine. We get to April, and with the drains are coming off, she's healing. The kids are really stepping up to take care of her. And then she gets her first chemo treatment. But before her chemo treatment, they took her in and said you had to do a port. And I remember she had a double mastectomy, had to get a port. They moved it onto the left side versus the right side. They're usually abnormal because they put it on the right, but she had lymph nodes removed. The day we go to chemo, everything was fine. It was all good. I was happy because this is like the stepping stone for this to be over. She comes home on a Tuesday from surgery. Thursday she gets chemo. Friday she gets a booster shot for her white blood cells. I'm on a meeting with actually Nick and Ivan. We're just talking about some things. And I hear my daughter yell, Dad, Mom collapsed, Mom fell. I rip through the room. My wife is face first in the ground. She had hit her head. She's not breathing. I rip the bathroom door open. I pull her up. She's going in and out of consciousness. Her eyes are rolling in the back of their head. And I pulled her out of the bathroom. I laid her flat and I started breathing. And at that moment, I was yelling at the top of my lungs, send help to 911. And I was yelling, God, please don't take my wife. I was like, please don't take my wife. It was probably it was the hardest thing I ever had to do as a father, to stand strong for my kids. And it's just therapy for me. I haven't really talked to anybody about it. On how holding your wife lifeless in your hands, asking God not to take her. She's not breathing. I can't give her compressions. I'm breathing in her mouth, pulling her up, and I'm yelling, God, help my wife. And all of a sudden, it's like, at that moment, she goes, and it was probably the best moment of my life. The support system of an online community is kind of gnarly because you really don't understand who's hearing you or who's there to get something. Does that make sense? But since the journey of YouTube, I have received texts from Eric Goodman, Jamie, Nick McGurk, Ivan, even people I don't even talk to on a regular basis, all flooding me with, how's your wife doing? How's she doing? She's in my prayers. She's in my prayers. And I've had support system, but I didn't have family in town. And I think I got more messages from YouTube than anyone else. And it just impacted my life that there's people in this world that care. God used YouTube to save me from being depressed. And I'm usually like a positive dude, I'm usually super positive. So this is my thank you. This is a different type of video. I have been wanting to make this for a while. Cancer is a real thing. Sickness is a real thing. And the humanity that I receive from people and the prayers that I receive from my church family, from YouTube. I remember the day my wife collapsed, Jamie was on his cleaner cast and he stopped and said, let's think about Eddie and his family. She's in a hospital. You guys God gave me grace and gave me a community that supports and rallies. And for that, I will always be thankful. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe. I just want to take this moment to thank each and one of you for helping me and my family in one of the hardest times that we ever had to go through. I don't talk about this a lot. I think I talked about it one last time. But he used YouTube to keep me going, to keep making videos, to keep being myself, to keep finding time to make sure I lived. And if I could give you one form of advice, fathers, is your kids are watching you. How you act through all of this anybody, father, mother, is how they'll see you the rest of your life. So this is my prayer for everyone, is let them see your faith. Maybe I don't believe. I understand if you don't believe in Jesus, that he died on the cross for your sins. I get that. But let people see your faith. Let them see that there is a miracle through all this, that he does answer prayers. Because you guys don't understand, one of the biggest miracles I saw is when she stopped breathing, her heart stopped. Is when I started screaming his name like, Lord God, please don't let my wife die. Please don't let her die. And then I heard the change my life, change my perspective, and it made me value her more and more. But without YouTube, without you guys, without the laughs, without the roasting of different companies, without the friendships I made in such a short time, it's been amazing. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will never forget the gifts that Armor Detail Supply, the personal text messages from Nick Parks, from Ivan, from Eric B, from Eric Goodman, from Damon Gray, from Dan Williams, man, from Ricky, from Sam Squatch, you know, and then from JBL, you know, his wife's going through cancer too. There's so many people in the same boat that maybe they don't have somebody to go to, but I want you guys to know that if you tell me that you're going through something, I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I will stop and pray for you. And I want to thank you again for everything you've done for me. I'm out.